What is going on, my beautiful Raspy Riders? Today we are going to start the modification process on the Alio Spacewalk US11. The current price of this bike is $426.99. So usually at that price point, we already know that it's not a fast bike. The current top speed I'm getting is only 16 miles per hour. I don't think I'm at a full charge. I'm at 3 out of 4 battery bars. So maybe we could get 18 if we were fully charged. So here's the plan, guys. The owner of JinSi Chuang, aka JSE, reached out to me and they wanted me to test their new motor. I know that it's gonna be a 5,000 watt motor and it's their version 2. Their first version was in my Coroma and I had no problems with that one. But apparently this one can handle heat better and provide more torque and higher speeds. Whew, this thing is it's quite beautiful. We got some extra spacers, we got our bolts, and our connector for the hall sensors. These phase wires actually look pretty thick, so maybe they will be able to handle more heat. And if we're gonna be doing some high speed, we want more stability, which fatter tires can help us out. So here we have some Kenda tires. So the size of these tires here are gonna be 2.75 by 10. And these are gonna be able to fit 14-inch wheels. It says 10 because our rim size is closer to 10 inches. So good. It's a pretty sunny day out, so I'm gonna take advantage of the heat. And I laid down this black tarp to attract more of the sun. And what we're gonna do is just place our tires on the tarp and just let it soak up the sun. After a couple of hours, these should be a bit softer and we'll be able to install it much easier. Huh, that's interesting. They put heat shrink wrap on the quick disconnect. You know, some of you guys might think I'm a little crazy for using such a cheap frame to go super fast. And maybe I am crazy. But ever since I was a kid, I was always fascinated by those people who would use cheap cars like Honda Civics and they would fully rebuild them so they would be super fast. I've seen some races where Honda Civics would keep up with like Ferraris, man. And that always fascinated me, but modifying cars is super expensive and e-bikes are much cheaper, even though it's still expensive to modify these things sometimes. Depends on how much power you want to push. Let's see if I can remove this tire without any soapy water. Man, these tire levers help so much. Oh yeah. The tire still has a ton of tread on it too. Now we take off this old rotor. I'm actually going to be reusing the rotor from my Coroma. It's also 160 millimeters, which is the same as this one. But it's a floating rotor. And I believe that's going to help with heat dissipation. These screws already got Loctite on them, but if they didn't, you guys always want to use blue Loctite in order to prevent these bolts from coming out, especially when it comes to the motor's rotor bolts. Because if this starts coming out like that and the wheel is spinning, then that will just tear up that motor cable. The rear wheel with the motor, you're going to want to use 180 millimeter rotors or greater, because if the rotor is too small, then you might have some clearance issues with your caliper. See this? I place this right here. The caliper gets really close to the motor, and if you use even smaller discs, you'll have even less space right here. I ran into my first problem. I might have to stretch out the frame a little bit. This blue caliper hits the motor. The dropout size is currently 14 centimeters. Let's try stretching it out to 15. Okay, let's put this towel right there. This is my car jack. All right, I got the clearance I need. Hopefully the brakes are situated and I can move on. Sometimes lining everything up in terms of the calipers and the rotors is the hardest part of a build. All right, it's time to put on the tires. It's feeling pretty hot. We're gonna start on the more difficult side, which is the motor. Oh, that is cool. This tube comes with a cap that has a valve stem remover. Look at that. That's cool. It'll probably break because it's plastic, but it's nice that we have it. Let's put a little bit of air into it. Just a little bit. We're less likely to get a pinch flat. Oh, damn. It probably would have been a good idea to get a tube with an L-shaped valve. These wires kind of get annoying to deal with. So close, just this little piece left. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Yeah, buddy. Woo! As much as I want to celebrate right now, I can't. You gotta pump it up and see if you created any pinch flats. I should have predicted this. Oh, I'm so stupid. My pump can't fit in there, so I can't pump up the tube. Damn it. I'm sweating so much after that battle. Now I have to order tubes that are L-shaped. Damn it, damn it, damn it. See, it's one of those moments where it's kind of common sense, but I don't do this enough to where it's common. So I did not think of that. Oh, that's so annoying. I have much more clearance with the front wheel, so I'm gonna start working on putting the tire and tube on this rim. There's nothing I can do with the rear wheel at this moment. I just have to order a different tube. Guys, even though I know an okay amount when it comes to modifying bikes, sometimes you get to a build where everything just goes wrong and you just get really frustrated. I know the steps to modifying a bike, and each one of those steps I feel like there's always something wrong with this build. I finally got the tire on the front wheel and it looks really nice, and I'm trying to put it on and I come to realize that this tire is too tall or too thick for the fender. It can't even go all the way down into the dropouts. So I'm gonna have to scrap the fender. I really hope that the tire does not rub on this part of the fork. Guys, I was right. Tire hits part of the fork. I'm about to call it quits for the day because it seems like I'm gonna have to go back to the thinner tires. Alright y'all, it's another day. I had to step away from the bike a couple days ago because I was just getting too damn frustrated, man. There was just a lot going on with it and it was trying to piss me off, so sometimes you just gotta walk away and take a breath of air. I have been working on it a little bit, so there are some updates. For the motor, we switched back to the stock tire, and same with the front. The fatter tire that we use for the front, I actually put it on the Favado and it was able to fit. So it's kind of crazy that that bike could fit when this one couldn't, even though they're both 14-inch wheels. So the wheel and the motor stuff is situated. Now I'm in the process of gutting the bike. I opened up the bottom right here, and it's actually a box that you can just move around. That box was staying in place because of this right here. Well, there was a cover and then this on top. So in here we have this little controller, and it says the voltage is for 36 volts, 18 amps. So I guess this is a 36 volt battery. It's pretty small, pretty weak. I'm gonna remove everything here, and then I'm gonna put the controller inside this. And I'm gonna have to use a Dremel to cut some space right here so that the wire harness can fit through and the phase wires. This is our controller right here, and I'm thinking it's gonna go like this. Oh no, like that. And the phase wires will be running through right here to the controller. Beautiful. Here's a piece of foam. All right, looks pretty good. Okay, we got a lot of wires coming out of the motor. I want it to look clean. I got an idea. I was gonna clean this up with some zip ties, but I ran out, so I gotta wait till tomorrow because I ordered more from Amazon. For the rest of today, I'm just gonna work on the 3-speed switch. I'm just gonna extend it with these wires right here. And I got this from something that came from the stock bike. I'm just recycling it. Look how short these 3-speed switches are. I don't get it, man. How is this gonna do anything? Like, look, this doesn't go anywhere. It's so short. So to extend this, what we're gonna do is use some solder seal right there. Solder seal. It's really easy to use. All you need is this, which is super cheap on Amazon, and a heat gun. I found the cheapest one on Amazon too. I've also seen these on Temu, so you don't really need a really good one. Just, a cheap one will work just fine. You gotta expose the wires. Keep in mind, if you don't want to use solder seal, you can just expose the wire, twist it up, and electrical tape. That's what I used to do. I just started using solder seal because it's a little bit cleaner. So you take the solder seal, stick the wire through, and then you do the same with the extender wires. You meet them in the middle. By the way, there's also tutorials online. You can look up something more professional. Okay, I see some of the solder melting, and it's good enough. Now you just do the same thing on the other wires. Easy peasy. Now that we've extended our 3-speed switch, we gotta add a connector to it so that it matches the far driver. This is the far driver harness. The only blue connector you see is gonna be the 3-speed switch on the far driver side. And there's usually a loop connector on it. If you do not wanna use a 3-speed switch, you just take this and you plug it in. It loops the connection, so it takes you out of mode 2 and automatically puts you in mode 3. So you will be in the fastest mode. You still got to tune your far driver, but it'll take you out of mode 2. So since we are going to be using a 3-speed switch, I'm going to de-pin this connector, the loop connector, and then I'm going to insert our 3-speed switch into this so I can plug it into the far driver blue connector. So I just de-pinned the loop connector, and all I did was I used a small Allen key. You can use a paper clip if you want to, or a needle. You just press on the groove. There's a little groove right there. You press on that and then you pull out the wire. It's pretty simple. So now I'm going to add pins on our 3-speed switch and then put it on this connector. And the way the color should match up is on the 3-speed switch side, you'll have a red, a green, and a black. This red will go to the far driver yellow, and then black to black and blue to green. 100% of the time this has worked for me, but I have heard people say that sometimes the colors don't coordinate like that, so you just gotta play with it. But at least you always know that black will always go with black. So the other two, if it doesn't work out, you just switch them. But black will always go to black. Alright guys, it is another day and we are back at it. This is day 3. I got my phase wires plugged in. I got to connect my battery terminals. And this is the battery we're going to be using. It's already in a nice box with a handle. So I'm probably just going to strap it directly to the frame. And this way you can take out the battery easily if you're ever going somewhere and just want to remove this. Here's the specs of our battery. This is a 72 volt, 28 amp hour pack. The continuous discharge is 280 amps and our max peak discharge is 350. So we're going to be running this at 200 amps. So this battery will have plenty of power to handle the controller. I have a super long cable to connect our battery to our controller. I'm probably going to save this for a different build, but today I'm just going to use it so that I can turn on the controller and do Autolearn. Just match up the black to black and then the red to red. Actually, I almost forgot. Before we match up the red, we have to connect part of our throttle to it. So right here is the throttle I sell on my website. And this is the only thing you pretty much need to run a far driver. It is the easiest way to run a far driver. This is a 3-in-1 throttle. It comes with a key ignition, a voltmeter to see your battery life, and the throttle. So if you guys buy this from me, I change up the wiring so that it is already plug and play with the far driver. Like I said, it is the easiest way to use a far driver. You do not need anything else. So this can be used without a display. I actually prefer my builds without a display, and I just use my phone. I use a free basic speedometer app that uses GPS to see your speed. So here from the throttle side, you just take this yellow right here with the ring terminal and you combine it with the battery positive terminal. This blue wire from the throttle side goes into this single orange wire from the far driver side. And then this 3-pin connector from the throttle side goes with the other 3-pin connector on the far driver side. The colors match up. Black to black, green to green, and red to red. And this is an adapter you can find on Amazon. It'll plug into the far driver, plug and play. And then you plug this hall sensor side from the motor right here on the far driver side. Bam! Everything is plugged up. That should be it. All we gotta do now is plug in our battery and turn on the key ignition. And hopefully we start hearing some beeps from the far driver. Here we go, guys. Moment of truth. Ah, yeah. 2 short beeps and 1 long beep means that you are ready for Autolearn. So before I go into Autolearn, I'm going to connect to the far driver. I'm going to go to communications right here. It says controller. Connect. It says weight bound. So I'm going to click weight bound and then press bound. Perfect. I am bound. And now I can start adjusting the parameters. I'm going to press Open Pro Enable. For this motor, it's going to be 20 pole pairs. For the max line current, I'm going to use 200 amps. The boost line, 200 amps. Max phase current, 450. Boost phase current, 450. Temperature sensor, none. And then you just press save, like I just did. So that should be it for adjusting the parameters. And now we can go to Autolearn. This stuff right here, the ratios and speed, this is pretty much how you tune your controller. I'm not going to do anything to this yet. I want to see how fast the scooter can go without messing with it. And then later on, I'm going to adjust that and then we'll really test the speed. So I'm going to press save one more time just in case. Go to return simple mode, go to graph, and then we're already in Autolearn mode. So for Autolearn, before you start, you want to make sure nothing is in the way. If something's in the way and it gets caught up in your motor, then something bad could happen. You can even spin the wheel a few times and see if anything will get caught in it. If you're using a bike that has a chain, take the chain off first. Do not do the Autolearn with the chain. So it looks like we're good to go, and I'm going to do the Autolearn. What's going to happen is I'm going to pin the throttle all the way down. The wheel's going to start spinning, and then you keep holding it. It's going to stop for a brief second, and then it's going to spin in reverse. You keep holding it, you don't let go. And then once that is done spinning, you'll hear a beep, and then you can let go. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam, that's spinning fast. Keep holding it. Sounds so beautiful. Sounds buttery smooth. See, now it's gonna go in reverse. And it's gonna keep rotating. You're still holding on the throttle. You hear that beep? Now you let go. And then the phone should say system okay and give you a green check mark. And that's it, guys. We're pretty much ready to ride once we clean everything up. All right, guys, I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna come back to you guys once this looks all pretty. And then in the next video, we're gonna test out the speed and do a overview of the bike. I think today's the 4th day and I have finished the build. I'm glad it's complete because I gotta get to some review videos. Look at the curves. These curves are sexier than your mama's. I'm just kidding, don't hate me. But seriously, man, it's like a rainbow. It's just so nice. For all the wires that this thing has, I think it is so clean. I got the battery strapped in there. I'm thinking about putting the 3rd seat back on here. This scooter is meant for a family, so you can fit 2 other riders with you besides yourself. And I took this one out to work on it, but I might add it back in there. It kind of makes this scooter special. What do you guys think? Looks pretty good, huh? The wiring up here is also really clean. You don't have much going on because, like I said, we're using this 3-in-1 throttle combo, and it makes it super easy to run the far driver. So I guess there's nothing left to do except take it for a test run. Keep in mind, I did not tune anything yet. So whatever speeds we're getting, that is the far driver doing, and I have not played with the ratios yet. Once I play with the ratios, then we're gonna be pushing some real power. I just wanna see what happens when we ride it how it is right now. Also, remember the bar is set really low because we were only getting like 16 miles per hour before. So let's see what happens right now. I lightly gave it some throttle and we started going backwards. So I guess we do gotta change the motor direction. You just go into the app and it says motor reverse direction. Let's click that, save, and now we're going forward. All right, so let's get our speedometer app out because our phone is our display. A lot of people ask me what app I'm using. It's literally called speedometer on the Apple App Store. I hope you guys can see the numbers. Ooh, this thing's got so much power. Wait, I gotta go to level 1. I gotta go level 1, guys. Oh, it's already 23 miles per hour. Okay, we're on the big street now. So we're still on level 1. And our max speed is 24 miles per hour. 25, 26. Slowly climbing. I forgot to put on regen. I'm gonna need to tune that later. Okay, let's go level 2. Ooh, we got some more power. Oh man, here we go, here we go. It's 30, 32. It's climbing. I can tell the phase amps are really low right now. All right, let's go to mode 3. Oh, it's 40. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're about to hit 50 on this thing easy. Jeez. I gotta find a better street to test out mode 3. And like I said, guys, we still have not tuned this controller. Hey, this bike low-key looks like a mobility device because the tall handlebars and just the look of it. All right, here we go again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Can we see 50? That is scary on this thing. I'm scared to see what this is really gonna be when we set everything up. All right, guys, well, there you have it. That was a quick little speed run we did. It's gonna be scary as heck once we tune that controller. Hey, let me know if you guys think I should add that third seat. It's just a little seat that swings downward and it has like a handlebar on it so a little kid can hold on to. All right, guys, I'm pretty happy with it just the way it is. I'm literally gonna be scared when I actually test this out later. I'm probably gonna gear up and put some elbow pads, knee pads, you know, wear some actual pants, maybe a full face helmet. Yeah, that's gonna be for a separate video when we do the actual speed run. This one was just a little teaser. I know this video is long. Thanks for staying with me till the very end. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.